graders. Today we're going to learn about tools used for observing things. Observing means looking at closely. You've already had an assignment where you observed something outside and you described it for me. These are some tools you could use to help you do some observations or make some observations. The tools we'll be using in 5th grade science are hand lenses, a magnifying box, and a microscope. I've included some extra tools here to show you. The first tool is a safety tool. These are safety glasses we will be using quite a bit in science. All right, the others are Petri dishes. Petri dishes can be used for lots of different things. Here I have them holding the objects that I'm going to magnify with my hand lens. So in this Petri dish, I have a fuzzball. And in this Petri dish, I have a piece of chalk. First, I'll talk about the hand lenses. You may call these magnifying glasses. You might have these at your house. If you do, then you can practice around your home or outside looking at things with a hand lens or magnifying glass. Hand lenses and magnifying glasses are used to look closer at items that we can already see with our eyes. For example, this fuzzball and this piece of chalk. Now, if I hold this magnifying glass or hand lens up by my eye, it does not do me much good for my fuzzball. If I hold this hand lens right up next to, right on top of the object I'm observing, it doesn't do much good either. The best way to use a hand lens is start with it close to the object you're observing, not touching, because what if that object you're observing is wet or gooey or mushy? You don't want to touch it. Just hover over it and then slowly draw back or slowly pull back the hand lens, and the item you're observing gets bigger. That's when you can see it more clearly. So remember, you start low, hovering over the object you're observing, and then you're bringing the hand lens up to a level that seems focused and zoomed in or magnified. Okay, this is another hand lens. It's just a little bit smaller. I would do the same thing to observe the chalk. I put the hand lens down close to the chalk and then I bring it back till it's zoomed or magnified. The next tool I will show you how to use is a magnifying box. This is very similar to the hand lenses. This magnifying box is just a clear box, but the lid has a hand lens, a magnifying glass in it. So this would be used for something that could roll away or crawl away. Maybe in your childhood or now, you have had a bug box, maybe a container that you put bugs in that has a lid with holes in it, and sometimes those bug boxes have a magnifying glass on as well. So a bug box is another way to use a magnifying box. Okay, so now I have this object I'm observing inside the magnifying box. I can look at it more closely because of the magnifier on top. The last tool I'm going to show you how to use today is our microscope. This looks a little bit different from the fancy microscopes that you might see in a big science lab. These are the ones we'll use for 5th grade. We have slides that already have cells and cross sections of items in them, such as tongue muscle and cheek muscle from cows, which is pretty cool to look at. When you're using a microscope, you need a slide. You also need a light source, and you're going to be using knobs to focus. So what you'll do is you will take your slide. In our microscopes, they slide into a slit here at the top. You adjust the slide so that it is where you want to view. Our light source for these microscopes are the lights coming from our ceiling. I'm going to tip the microscope up and you see this white rectangle. This white rectangle is reflecting the lights coming down from the ceiling so that I can see when I look through the eyepiece. Now I'm going to look through the eyepiece and use the knobs to turn and adjust the focus. Everything in the microscope should be crystal clear. If it's blurry, then it's not quite focused. All right, so you'll turn those knobs until it is focused. For your tasks today, you are going to be using some online microscopes and hand lenses. The microscope websites require you to press buttons and scroll around the page. So if you're not sure what to do, what I like to say is just play. Play around with it until you start getting some instructions that say click here or try this, and you can have some fun looking closer at things using those websites.